Welcome to your Journey to Joy podcast. I'm your host, Moyra Gorski, and I'm on a mission to help you find joy in the chaos of life. As a retired nurse, multi-passionate entrepreneur, and mom of 4 adult children, I know what it's like to feel the overwhelm of it all and wonder if and when the joy will show up again. And I've learned it's up to us to go find that joy. On this show, you will hear inspiring stories from those who have overcome all kinds of life challenges, tips on how to stay healthy and vibrant during the ups and downs of life, and simple ways on finding joy in your own life. Let's face it, life is messy, yet when we travel together on this journey, support and encourage each other along the way, that joy starts to show up again. I'm so excited to lead you on this journey of you to find the joyful life that you deserve. Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Moyra Gorski, and I am here today just by myself. And I feel really called to come on here and chat today just because about what's going on in my life. And I try to do that so often on this podcast is, share with you real life stuff that's going on with me because I think maybe it might be going on with you as well. And so today I want to talk about change. And how do you handle change? I'm asking you those questions because I'm dealing with that right now. We are in the midst of moving. We're in the midst of, let me back up, saying we're selling our house and we're looking for a new place to live. And that, because of that comes a lot of change. And I am all on board with it. It is something that we're choosing to do. We've been in this current home for 25 years and it's just time. It's time to find a smaller house. We have a lovely home here in the suburbs of Chicago. We raised our kids here and all of them are gone except for our daughter. Our daughter still lives with us and she's doing great and she'll move with us. It's not time yet for her to move and be on her own just yet, but it's just time. And, I felt it even more and more with my cancer diagnosis last October and just going through that and just like trying to get rid of things that just don't serve me anymore and serve us anymore. And again, nothing bad about our house. Again, I'm sitting in gratitude of this home and what it's provided us and our family. And it's just time. And I'm having some days that it's just some interesting emotions have come up. And this week it's been extra special, interesting emotions because on Friday, now this is Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. This is Wednesday that I'm doing this interview. In a couple of days, the professional photographers will be here to take the pictures. We are staging the house tomorrow and it'll be up on the market next week. So it's getting really close. And there's just a lot of things that have been going on. And besides just cleaning out and packing up and things like that. But I have been really thinking about it. And I think there's just a few things that I want to talk about in regards to change and perhaps see if, and just talk about the fact that there are things that we can do when we feel like we're out of control, that we don't like what's happening, when we're stressed. I've felt all of those emotions, when we're grieving the loss of things, when we're feeling like we don't know what the next move is going to be. What are some things that we can do? And starting with the fact that the way that we do one thing is the way that we do everything. And so if it's the way that we handle our house move, it can translate to how we're handling change in our business, how we're handling change in our relationships and things like that. And, I've learned from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and mindfulness-based stress reduction. It's the stopping, noticing, becoming aware, where are your attachments? And then, those are good things to go through as we're dealing with, in this case, with change, with what's going on. And so when I'm in the midst of stress, when I'm in the midst of emotion, I've been working on stopping and just being right there and saying, what's going on? What's going on here? For instance, a few weeks ago, I was packing things up and taking things off the shelves and putting them in boxes and looking at different children's books that I'm still saving, for those grandkids. But I was feeling this emotion inside of me, just sitting in that space of like, wow, it's been great. Again, we've raised our kids here. There's a lot of great memories here. And that's what I was feeling is like all of those memories, the good. There was also some not so good memories, but just that like, wow, why am I feeling this way? I'm feeling it because I'm grateful for what this house has given to us. Um, and I'm taking those memories and I'm putting them in the box. And some things I'm looking at to say, you know what? I think it served its time. And so I'm going to give it away, or I'm going to sell this, or I'm going to put this in this box and I'm going to take it to the next place. And so there's been a lot of that. But I'm stopping and sitting, and I was just feeling really grateful. But I also started to feel that emotion of like, oh, there's some bad memories here. And I'm ready to like put that behind me, and a little bit of grief for like a life that I wish didn't happen. Not the whole life, but like parts of my life, like the arguments in this house and the bad things and the cancer that came in and the disorder with some of my kids and the discord and the not talking about things and like those kind of things that came up, and just that made me feel like it just really more emotional too. And I headed to a yoga class on that Sunday of that weekend, and I went through the yoga practice and it just all came out. I was really emotional. I was crying at the end and chatted with the instructor a bit about it. So it's all good. But what I want to, share in that I was experiencing, that I want you guys to know too, is that when we go through things, it's okay to experience that, but just stop enough to be like, what's this all about? Why am I feeling this? Why am I emotional? Why am I angry? Why am I happy? Why am I feeling this way? Stopping and noticing. That noticing and I've talked about this before on the podcast, when we notice things, we then have the ability to make to make a choice, to be like, okay, now I'm noticing that I'm feeling this. Okay, I'm going to go to yoga and move through this. Or my daughter said, I'm going to write a letter to the house and just say, thanks for the memories and whatever she decides to say in there. But I thought, well, that's kind of a cool thing. Like that's the choice that she's going to do. I find it interesting that that's what's happened when we've painted the house. Like we painted it all white dove. We've neutralized it all. And I said to my daughter, I said, it's interesting that it's taken the color out of the house, of course, right? But it's kind of taken the memories out too. It's covered them up. It's neutralized it. And now it's ready for a new family. It's ready for the new people to move in here and create the life that they want, and create a family and create the life that this house can give them. And so it's also making it easier, if you will, for us to say goodbye to the house, because it's not really our house anymore. It's more blank, and it doesn't have as much color. And I've learned to love my really dark maroon bedroom, and I learned to love the colors of this house. And so we've taken that away and neutralized it. So it's again, that's what I'm noticing. It's like, wow, it doesn't really feel like our house anymore. And that's good, because we're saying goodbye to it. We're leaving it. We're giving it to someone else. We're selling it to someone else. And then we're going to go and move into a new home, and we're going to create some new memories there. But it's that stopping, noticing, becoming aware of what's going on, but also becoming aware of what's going on in your head. Because the other example is just this stress. And my daughter said yesterday, she goes, I just had to get out of the house the other day. You were so stressed out. And I don't know, it just has come up on me. Like when I think of like everything that we have yet to do before, those pictures are taken, it just is overwhelming for me. And it does stress me out. And I've been a little disappointed in myself that I've let some of it get to me. But I'm working on that, and to say, okay, just stop. Okay, what are you going to do today? Like I've just been worried about like, okay, I'm putting too much time into working on the house. I need some more time in my business. And what happens if my business numbers go down? Or what if I'm not able to connect with this person? Or what if I can't make this appointment now, or whatever? But really stopping and saying, okay, like yesterday, I had some tasks to do outside. I needed to power wash the pool cover. I needed to power wash the back, pool deck and the patio and the concrete and stuff like that. It needed to be cleaned up. And so I decided that, okay, that's what I need to do. My time needs to go there. I said no to my dance lesson because I'm not focusing on getting to a competition or there's no timeline there. So as much as I love to dance, I said, I'm not going to do that today. And so I canceled that. I said no to that because I needed to focus on what I was doing here. And I got it done and it looks great. And it's a beautiful sunny day today. The backyard looks great. The pool's ready for the pictures and, things are good. So I focused on that. And I know that today I'm focusing a little bit more on my business. And I had some great conversations this morning and I did a podcast interview and I'm doing this now. And I have some phone calls to make after that. So all in due time, but it's really that awareness of like, okay, what are my priorities now? And again, with that stress, saying, okay, it's all going to get done. And your husband's going to do this, and your daughter's going to do this, and you're going to do this. And it's just where you need to be right now, right? Because once the house goes on the market, it's going to sell in like a nanosecond. I don't know where you live, who's listening to this, but here in the Midwest, the inventory is so low. And so houses, when they go up, they sell. They have contracts on them within 3 to 5 days. And so I know that will happen. And then then I worry like, okay, but are we going to be able to find the place that we like? And are we going to, pay too much for that? And all of those things. So I continue to share with you the things that I go through because I'm not all done. I continue to do the work, but I want to share that with you too, so that we can learn from each other. And it's that idea that like, okay, this is where I need to be. This is where the focus is. And I was going to say, this too shall pass. I thought it's interesting that popped up in my brain because I thought about this weekend. Like when we say this too shall pass, it's almost like at least what it makes me feel like, okay, it's going to be gone quickly and it's going to pass. And then and that's true. Like this will be over when our house sells and it'll be over. But again, when I was doing a meditation and I thought about that, this too shall pass, I thought, that made me think like we want it to pass too quickly. And so we're not being present in the day. And that's what I'm trying to say here. That's what I'm trying to say to myself is just be present to where you're at today and what you need to get done and what needs your focus. And, and what are you saying to yourself? Are you saying, oh my God, this is so stressful? Because I've been saying that for a few days now. And I feel like every day is really stressful. So if I quit saying that and saying, yeah, I'm working on the house now. I'm excited that we're going to be being able to sell it and get to the next step in our life. And we're going to find a new place. Like that's a different conversation that I can have with myself than, oh my gosh, this is so stressful. I have so much to do and I don't know how I'm going to get done. And then before you know it, I'm all worked up and I'm taken a stress relief pill so that I can calm down. So it's really the learning that I'm doing through today in this move and this change that is teaching me. And I'm challenging you to think about that too, is that if you're feeling a little discord, if you're feeling like, wow, there's these things that are out of my control or like, I'm looking at doing this, but I feel like I'm stuck or something's getting in the way. Like I encourage you to stop. Just stop and take a deep breath and just notice. Just notice like what's going on here. Like just what's going on here. And being aware of that and spending some time thinking about that and just again being aware of that and learning from that and being present and maybe pick up a journal and write about it. Again, I just got off a call with some accountability gals that I work with and are connected with. And she has people do that as a writing exercise. Like, start to sit down and take some time and sit down and just journal about some things. Like what are you feeling? What are you aware of? Like, what are the things that you're saying? And, why are you feeling this way? And what is it that you really want to accomplish? Or what do you feel? Those kind of things. When you start to journal and write things down, it's amazing what can come up and what you can discover. And it just helps us in our day to day. Because really come on, that's all we have. The future is the promise of something new for us here with our home. And it's exciting. And the past is the past. The last 25 years is the past. I can't change that. I can celebrate that. I can be in gratitude and I can be here in today. Today's Wednesday and it's 2:10 p.m. and I'm talking to all of you gals and guys. That's what it is. And that's all we have. So let's make these days and all we have of today, let's make it joyful. I found that being in stress and being in worry is taking the joy out of my day. It's taking the joy out of this process. And I know I'm edgy and I know I'm sometimes not sleeping so good. And I'm just, it's not fun. It's not fun for me and it's not fun for the people that are around me. So my message today is, again, what's going on with when you deal with change? Like, how is that showing up? How are you showing up when change is inevitable, when change is happening? And how are you showing up? And what are the things that you're going through? Don't get pulled into the stress. Don't get pulled into the anger and the discord and stuff like that. Stay present to where you're at, what you're feeling, because that is, again, change is change. Again, I was going to change. Change is hard. Well, makes us uncomfortable. But if it doesn't make us uncomfortable, then I don't think change is going to happen. I mean, I was just talking with somebody earlier today about eating disorders. And when people are looking to make changes and improve in eating disorders, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you have to weight restore and you have to eat a lot and your stomach hurts. I remember that from my daughter. It was uncomfortable for her to eat more than she was used to. It's uncomfortable when we go to the gym and we want to make changes and we have to we lift heavy weights and we're sweating and it's uncomfortable. But the change is going to come when we get uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to pack the boxes and to throw things out and to go through all of this and to put in the hard work. It makes us uncomfortable, but that's where the change happens, And so, and it needs to make us uncomfortable, because if it's not making us uncomfortable, then I don't think we're changing, right? I coach people all the time on changing their habits and taking a look at like what they're doing. Again, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So are you saying, you was pressing your snooze alarm? Are you canceling those appointments with your friend to go for a walk? Are you like snoozing on your life? Like all of those things, how are you showing up? Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So, and encouraging them to change and encouraging them to make those small changes, which again, it can happen, but it's not always easy. It makes us uncomfortable. But I encourage you to do those, because that's really where the change happens. And know that, as I wrap this up, know that the change doesn't happen overnight. And it's, as I coach some of my health clients, I talk about how long have you been struggling with, the fact that you have low energy or that you can't sleep. And some people will say, man, I've had it for I don't know, it's been the last 2 years. Or it's been the last 6 months. So I tell them, it's not okay, you've been dealing with this for 2 years. Give yourself grace. It's not we don't have a magic pill here that it's going to correct itself in 2 days. If it's 2 years, it might take 2 months of habit changes and new things to really see significant change. And so give yourself, just know that. Again, notice that, be aware of that, and just do those little things. Because as you do the little things every day, and then the next day, and the next day, you start to build up momentum in that change. And then you'll find that you have momentum in another area. Say, wow, now I've been going for a walk and I feel good. I'm going to go home and I'm going to make that smoothie. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to cut up some of those veggies like Moyra talked about and prep and make some homemade hummus. So I've got that with my veggies when I want to have a snack. You start to feel momentum in one area and it goes to the next and goes to the next. That's what happens when we start to change and we can make those lasting changes. So I hope that helped you today. I mean, I know it helped me, because just getting, that's why I love journaling. That's why I like podcasting too, is that when I can share with you, it helps me process through things, but I really hope that it helps you too. Just start to think about when you're making changes and when change is calling your name and it's saying, okay, we need some changes. And like, what's happening? Are you resisting it? Are you getting crabby? Are you getting stressed? Like, how are you showing up? But let's get to that area of stopping, noticing, being aware, thinking about what are you saying to yourself during this change time? And really, again, do you want the change? Yeah. And maybe you don't, but do you want the change? And so change is going to make us uncomfortable. And in the end, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be so excited when we move into that new home and we start to create some new patterns, some new flow, some new memories. It's going to be so great. It's going to be some stressful time. But again, I'm going to start reframing things and saying, hey, it's just exciting. It's a lot of work now. Yep. It's exciting because I'm looking forward to making this change and getting to that next stage in my life, in our life, as a family, as a couple, and things like that. So I encourage you to think about that too. And if you're looking for some more accountability in making some changes, be it in your health, in your life, in your entrepreneurship, I encourage you to reach out to me because I do love to support men and women in this space and those that are just feeling like they are stuck and like they're unsure. They want to make the changes, but they're unsure how to do it. And so I provide that coaching. I provide that help, that support for you. And we start to look at things and, what are you looking at accomplishing? If it's just feeling better, having more energy, having a better, meal plan or nutrition plan, or just a better plan for your life with purpose. That's what I'm here for. So reach out if you, again, want to just see what it would look like to have somebody that's on your side, that's an accountability buddy and a coach. And in the meantime, just make it a great day. Be here, present in the moment. Don't let the fear and the stress, steal the joy from your life, because life is worth living. Choose to live, choose to be in this moment. And I just can't wait to hear from all of you and the feedback and the change and the joyful life that you're living. So make it a great one, and we'll talk to you next time. Hey there, ready to live a more joyful life? Considering connecting with someone who can help you? If so, I'd like to be that person. I offer a free consultation where we determine where the chaos is in your life and how you can learn to bring more joy each and every day. Visit my website, MoyraGorski.com, or simply email me, Moyra@MoyraGorski.com, with more joy in the subject line. I look forward to connecting, and I'm here to say there will always be some chaos, which requires a little juggling, but you can find joy and live your life intentionally filled with that joy. Let me help you on your journey to joy, and that's joy, the journey of you.